YouTube, how we doing? Today we're going into our another one of these 7-round mock drafts, and it's going to be the Dallas Cowboys this time around. This one's going to be interesting. Cowboys are in a spot where they're in a weaker division, and no one really knows what's going to happen with it. So with a team that, in my personal opinion, didn't have that good of an offseason, some players that they had to let go. They brought some guys back, but in reality, I think it was kind of a rough offseason for the Dallas Cowboys in the moves that they made. You're going to have to fix some pieces, do some more things to keep this team at the contending level, and that's what we're going to do here. We're going to get them right back into contention. Starting off with pick number 23, it is going to be Kenyan Green out of Texas A&M, 84 overall next-gen grade out of, again, Texas A&M. This guy is an absolute mauler. He is a beast. I mean, the guy is able to just he's able to do everything. His drive is pretty great. The only thing that I would say about his play is that sometimes they played him at tackle at Texas A&M. I wouldn't play him there. I would keep him at that guard spot, and I think that's the smart move here, especially with the fact that the team is kind of needing a guard more than they're needing a tackle. So I'm really loving this. This is the reason I love this pick here for the Cowboys is offensive line has always been a staple for the Cowboys. It's why they've been so great for so long. So why would you not want to keep that how it is? Connor Williams is gone, which a lot of Cowboys fans are happy about. Lyle Collins is gone, which is a big loss to the offensive line, but you have Terrence Steele to replace him. Now you get Kenyan Green in there. So now you have Tyron Smith, Kenyan Green, Tyler Biadasz, Zach Martin, and Terrence Steele. That's a really good offensive line. You're right back to being what you have been, and that is just, again, a great offensive line. I'm really liking Kenyan Green to Dallas. Now we have a trade to announce. The Cowboys are moving back up. This is a team that's trying to contend, trying to keep their championship window open. So they're going to want these higher picks, these players that can help right away. So moving up to pick 37 and giving up 56 and 167 to the Texans there. Texans get a lot more pieces where they're able to build around them, and the Cowboys are getting guys that can impact them right away. So big trade here for the Cowboys, but a very necessary one in my opinion. And with that 37th overall selection, we're going to be taking Arnold Ebiketti, the edge rusher out of Penn State, who falls out of the first round, has a next-gen grade of 78, but this is a dude who I am extremely high on. I think he's going to be one of the better edge rushers in this class. He's got such a quick and strong get off the snap. He uses agility to bend around the corner, which is amazing as well. He's more of a speed rusher, which is going to be perfect opposite of DeMarcus Lawrence. It's going to allow Parsons and LVE to be used as those linebackers. Parsons was kind of used as everything last year, and while he was great at that, now you have two really good edge rushers on the edge, as well as two amazing linebackers in Parsons and LVE. If they're both, if LVE stays healthy and can do what he can do, that's a really good front seven as well. Again, building from the trenches, it's what Dallas has always been good at, and they need to keep that identity, and I think this is the perfect way to shore up that identity. Ebiketti, one of my favorite players in this class. Moving on to Wandel Robinson, the 88th overall selection here to Dallas. Amari Cooper's gone. Cedric Wilson's gone. You need to get somebody to help. And the reason I love Wandel Robinson here at 88 is he's such a twitchy, smaller receiver. He's only 5'8", I believe, 5'9". So he's going to be that third option, opposite of CeeDee Lamb and Gallup, obviously. I think he's the perfect replacement for what you had in Wilson and Cooper, because this guy, even though he's undersized, he's a weapon. He pretty much can be what Cole Beasley was for the Cowboys and for the Bills. He's got some speed to him, obviously. He's very, the size is really what's holding him back. He's a very good receiver. It's just that size is a big concern, but we've seen players have good careers at undersized. Boston Scott is 5'6" right now in the NFL. J.J. Taylor, I believe, is like 5'4" or something. So there's guys that can make it happen, obviously. But Wandel Robinson, he graded as an 80 overall from Next Gen. So I believe that this isn't a bad pick at all. I think this is going to be a really good pick. I think he's going to be a really good weapon as well. Like I said, kind of that twitchy receiver opposite of Gallup and Lamb. And I think that those three are going to really pair well together. Sorry to interrupt the video, but I just want to talk to you about Underdog Fantasy really quick. The NFL season's over, but you could still draft a new fantasy team on Underdog Fantasy and win cash prizes. They have a slick mobile app and a user-friendly site. You can also join a league and draft a team in minutes. Plus, the folks at Underdog are helping you guys out that are watching the video by matching up to $100 on your first deposit for new users when you use code SORMANI, SORMANI. So just go to UnderdogFantasy.com or go download the App Store or the Google Play Store. Sign up with the code SORMANI, that's SORMANI, and Underdog is going to match your first deposit all the way up into $100. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code SORMANI, SORMANI. Now let's get back to this video. Moving on to pick number 70, I have the Cowboys selecting Jelani Woods, the tight end out of Virginia, with a next-gen grade of 74. Easily one of my favorite tight ends in this class. You look at it, Schultz is on a tag, so he's a one-year contract, and there's not really much money that's going to be able to be used to extend players. Jelani can be that number 2 or number 3 tight end this year, and he's going to make his impact. He's got amazing talent in the vertical game. He's going to be able to make the red zone threats, receiving threat. He's going to be able to do all of that. And then after year 1, probably take over that starting tight end role for Dalton Schultz and save you that money that you don't have to pay Schultz. He's not the best blocker in the world, but I don't think that holds him back at all. I think that he is one of the better tight ends in this class. He's a freak of just nature at this point with how big and strong and fast he is. I really like Jelani Woods. I think he's going to be a top-tier tight end in the NFL, and the Dallas Cowboys are going to luck out and get him here. Moving all the way down to 155, we're going to be taking Zach Tom out of Wake Forest, the offensive tackle. Had a next-gen grade of 67. These picks are going to be easier to run through. They're not going to be talked about too much, but every team needs 3 trustworthy tackles nowadays in the NFL, and since Steele is moving to the starting role with Tyron Smith, you got to replace the role that Steele had as that backup tackle, and that's where Zach Tom's going to come in. He's going to be the backup in case Steele or Tyron get hurt. He can be able to plug and play and not have a horrible talent, to be able to be a solid replacement, a solid backup who can't necessarily cost you a lot when he is playing. He's not going to be the biggest liability in the world. So I think Zach Tom is going to be a solid selection here. You got to help out the offensive line. You got to replace what Terrence Steele was. You got to have 3 tackles in today's NFL. Really like that pick for them. Then at pick 176, you got another pick 2 picks away. We'll talk about that in a second. But Jack Jones, the corner out of Arizona State, only a 53 grade from Next Gen. He's a zone cover corner, and he's going to fit that scheme very well. But I think what I like about this is the Cowboys in general, whether it's Jack Jones, whether it's whoever else is on the board, the Cowboys often are very good at hitting on these mid-round DBs, and they end up overperforming their draft value. We see it every single year with Awuzie and Anthony Brown and all these other guys. I mean, even Trevon Diggs I had him as a first rounder, but fell to the second round, and now he's one of the better corners in the league. So you look at it at Jack Jones, he's going to fit well. He's going to play zone very well. He's got the upside. You're going to be able to get him here at 176 and, see what you can develop him into. Then at 178, we're going to take another corner here in Caylen Barnes out of Baylor. Pretty much everything I just said about Jack Jones, we're just going to repeat it for Barnes. You're adding to the DB room. Again, these guys are usually going to be good when the Cowboys draft them in the mid-rounds. They're very good at developing these DBs for whatever reason it is. And so the more young and cheap talent you can have at that DB room and just making it deeper and deeper is going to help out a ton for this defense and, use these guys on special teams as well. So it's kind of a best of both worlds scenario. 178, not a bad selection at all. Then with our last pick in the draft at pick 222, we're going to be taking Caleb Ellaby, the quarterback out of Western Michigan. He had a next-gen grade of 60. This is one of the better backups that you can get in this NFL draft. He's one of my favorite prospects looking at it. 45 touchdowns to only 11 interceptions in his college career. I think he's going to be able to win that backup role, and he plays a similar play style to what Dak does in case of an injury. But besides that, just the thing that you got to realize about mock drafts and just drafts in general is not every player is being selected to be a starter. When you had 222, this is a guy who is going to play a similar play style to Dak, and he makes very few mistakes, that is going to do a lot for the defense in practices and scrimmages when Dak isn't playing. You know, the practices that he's able to use, that's going to do a lot because he's not making mistakes and he's playing a similar play style. I think he's a safe prospect. He can extend plays. And again, I think that if Dak goes down with injuries, which has happened the past few years, I think Caleb Ellaby can step in there and run the game plan pretty similarly and do a lot. So that is going to be it for the Dallas Cowboys mock draft. Here's all the prospects that we have now selected and are now members of the Cowboys. They are them boys. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. Did I do a good job? You know, who's somebody that you did like? Who's somebody you didn't like? What's a player that you really want to take? You know, let me know all those things in the comment section below. And of course, if you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It does help me out an absolute ton. We're almost at 900. We might even hit it before this video comes up, but we're almost at 900 subscribers. It's going to be awesome to hit. And again, if you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to leave it that like. If you didn't, just refresh the page and let me know what you think about it the second time. Because without further ado, that's going to be it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one.
How you talking 50K? How you talking making plays or just talking? Yeah. I do this here on my own time. Time is money, so I did it on my own dime. Word to Bookie, yeah, this homage gave me game. Yeah, he taught me family ties. Quick to back there off me. Nah, I can't wait for you.